You're welcome back. If you just joined us, this is Business Morning, coming to you live from Channels Television, broadcasting from Lagos, Nigeria, and I'm Bolaji Akinwale. We have been talking about credit facilities in Nigeria. We all know that credit deals with trust and confidence, which leads to credit worthiness. And we have been talking to Dr. Chris Onalo. He is the CEO of the Institute of Credit Administration in Nigeria. Thank you, Dr. Chris, for still being a part of the program.
Thank you.
Let's move on quickly because we're running out of time. I just want to know, does recommendation from another company help in any way to get a business owner to access credit in Nigeria? Because we know that sometimes referrals are given to some individuals who have been trusted in one way or the other over a period of time to be able to manage some amount of money, and he has been able to pay back over a period of time. Does that work out fine?
Well, if I get your question right, referral from a third party about a potential credit customer, that if that could help him or her to get credit from another organization.
When you actually get all of the factors in place, does that also add to the ability to access funds at the end of the day?
What is commonplace in credit market and among credit professionals is that if a credit customer comes, or a company looking to have a credit facility, let me use the banking sector, comes around, the only referral that is reasonable and could be tolerated is the fact that the lender need a credit report on your organization. And then if you have plethora of credit reporting companies in the economy, then is either you said, okay, I need to have credit report done on my company because I am talking with my bank or I am talking with my manufacturer and they need this document on myself, then that referral is done, credit report is done, and then it is not even you that is a subject matter that need to carry the credit report document about your organization and then going on to give to the lender, the bank, or the seller of the product that you want to buy on credit. But you can't do that. If you do that, it is presumed that something has gone under the table.
So who does that?
It is credit rating agencies, credit reporting company. Let me mark two things here.
But how well have they been involved? Because I asked that question earlier on.
Yes.
How well do credit bureau operators, as they're sometimes called, how well do they get involved in the processes of granting credit facilities to businesses in the country? Are they really up in their games?
Yes, they are. They are institutions independent, impartial. They are. They cannot afford to compromise. Their business success, survival depends on their sense of impartiality. So if a request comes to them, naturally a request comes to them from the organization who has been approached by a business customer to say, I need a credit. I need a credit line from you. In the bit of the organization to determining your credit worthiness, the organization, in this case, bank, will make reference to the credit reporting company or a credit rating organization or credit bureau. Let's leave out credit bureau because credit bureau information is just a teaser to say, yes, this guy that is going to the bank to ask for credit, I have a black list on his name, and the culture is the bank will say, this guy has written to me to request for credit line.
Isn't that conceded?
Well, it is not, because it is about verifying your pedigree. It is about trying to know who you have been all these years in your business life. We want to see if you have borrowed. We want to see if you have defaulted in any form of credit prior to your approaching a new organization for credit line. That is the rule of the credit bureau. And the answer is yes, no, produce evidence. Okay? If evidence is, yes, you were owing XYZ institution before, and it took you a while before you could clean up, then it will affect your credit rating. It will affect the way the bank will look at you. It will affect the way development finance institutions will look at you. It will affect the way credit manager and industrial sector will look at you. And so there is no question of anybody trying to help you. And that is why we talk about information you generate about your business is a determinant factor. So if you are in the habit of, writing out checks, you are in the habit of not paying obligation, the whole thing is, I think, is a function of who we are in the society. Can I trust you? That is the starting point. Have you brought up your lifestyle in a way that somebody can trust you? Because tomorrow you are going to become entrepreneur. What you are is what you take down to your business. If you say, wait for me here, can I really come? Can I wait for you confidently? And you come and meet with me. So it is about trust. It's about confidence. Now, the credit rating, the credit report company will now react to the request that has been put to them by the credit provider organization. I need you to do a report on XYZ customer for me quickly. Within 3 days, within 4 days, within 5 days. I want that report back to me here. And the credit rating goes to you, Bolaji, to say, look, Bolaji and company, we are here from XYZ credit company, and we want to have a chat with you. We want your audited account for the past 3 years. If you are a startup company, it is your management profile. Where were you, Bolaji, for the past 5 years? Can I see your CV? Can I see your profile? Your profile? That what is the evidence? I want something that can guarantee that this business for which you are borrowing is going to thrive the same way where you were before, thrived successfully. And so it is about the rating company, the credit reporting company, coming to terms with you and said, this is our finding, what we call company credit report, and then send it back to the lender. In addition to what they have, it's a whole gamut of work because everybody is concerned about the facility not going bad, and they want to have you come back again. And you are held to the kind of history that you have put on the paper about yourself. Oh, yes, you can do reference on me. I have about 4 or 5 trade suppliers, and you can find out about my payment habit when I was doing business with them, how promptly I pay the bill that they sent to me. And you can go to my bank. I have a very smooth sailing transaction there, and all the in and out that is on my account were basically for business transaction. You must prove something to show that you have a good credit history, a history that can allow the credit you're about taking today to work very well.
All right, I know we're running out of time. I have just a few more minutes before I wrap up. Now, there are many developing finance institutions in our economy. Very interesting to note that the Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, talked about the fact that while he is in office, he intends to ensure that the Central Bank funds productive sectors of the Nigerian economy. And of course, we expect him to use development finance institutions to also achieve that aim. But I just want to know, how do you assess the experience that's talking about development finance institutions in Nigeria in the delivery and management of credits that they extend to the targeted customers? It's
a Herculean task. I was very happy when Emefiele made that comment that he was coming to strengthen the credit system. And I think the development finance institutions need to put their acts together. They need to be allowed to do their work. They need to establish a proper credit framework, so that people don't just come here from left and right, note from politicians and said, go there, go to these development finance institutions and give so much.
Okay.
That must stop. Okay. So that any fund to drive the economy and you decide to pass through these development finance institutions should not get stocked.
Okay.
If it shouldn't get stuck, then the development finance institutions should be allowed to put a proper credit framework in place so that it can drive.
Thank you. That will be all we can take. Thank you so much, Dr. Chris Onalo. Dr. Chris Onalo is the CEO and Registrar at the Institute of Credit Administration of Nigeria, and we have been looking at Nigeria's credit facility system in terms of how well we can make it better, in terms of how businesses can access funding in the country, especially small and medium businesses. Okay, that'll be all we can take on the program on to this edition of Business Morning. Just before we go, a reminder that Pakistani President Mamun Hussein is meeting with Nigeria's business community in Lagos today, and we are covering that for you. We hope to bring the discussions to you in subsequent bulletins. And of course, the recent meeting of the Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries today, and one of the issues that may be raised at that meeting is who succeeds the incumbent Secretary General, and Nigeria's oil minister, petroleum minister, Desani Alison Madueke, is being tipped as a possible successor to the incumbent. And that'll be all on the program. We do appreciate your time with us. Coming up next is News Track. I am Bolaji Akinwale.